An executive shakeup at Apple with the announcement of two big departures. I'm joined by Mark Gurman, senior editor at 9 to 5 Mac. Mark, first let's talk Katie Cotton, VP of Worldwide Corporate Communications at Apple. She's retiring after 18 years with the company. She's someone who worked very closely with Steve Jobs and then Tim Cook. So how big of a milestone is this for Apple?
This is a huge shift for Apple. Cotton has been with the company since the very beginning of their reemergence in the late 1990s. She was really, Steve Jobs' handler, really worked closely with Jobs, Tim Cook, and other executives. And besides working with the press, she really shaped the media perception and the public perception of Apple as a company through their highs and their lows. And so it's to be seen how Apple appears as a company to both the media and consumers in the future under Cotton's successor.
Right, and then just hours after that news, we hear that Apple's head of North America sales, Zane Rowe, is also leaving. No reason was given for his departure. What do you attribute it to? We did see North America sales numbers that were slightly down last quarter.
Right. Rowe's departure is very interesting because he only joined Apple a couple years ago. He was previously the chief financial officer at United Continental Airlines. And yes, like you said, North America sales were down for some key products such as the iPhone. Then again, Asia sales, particularly in Japan, were way up under Doug Beck, who runs the sales for that region of the world for Apple. And Doug Beck is expanding his role to cover North America sales. So perhaps Apple thought if Japan sales were so up, Beck could really do wonders for North America sales as well. On the other hand, it's possible that Rowe left himself because he has lots of chief financial officer experience. And as we know, Apple's transitioning into a new CFO, Luca Maestri, who's taking over for current CFO Peter Oppenheimer. So perhaps Rowe was not pleased with being passed up for the top financial job at Apple.
Yes, and touching on that, these are just the latest in a series of executive shifts at Apple in recent months. What's behind all of the movement? How do you see the company transitioning itself?
Right, there's been a lot of top executive movement at Apple over the last couple of years. We saw top iOS executives Scott Forstall and Henry Lamoureux leave the company over the last couple of years. We saw user interface design chief, who's also vice president, Greg Christie, who's retiring over the next few months. We've seen lots of departures of the sort, but at the same time, we've seen some key hires, such as Angela Ahrendts, who's running retail now. She was previously CEO of Burberry. So it seems like as people are leaving, Tim Cook is reshaping the company to work better for himself, work better in a more collaborative environment. So it's to be seen. I think the next 6 months to a year are going to be very telling to see if these moves were positive moves. We'll see which products come out from these new leadership teams. I think the executives are very important, but even more important are the rank and file employees, the top engineers who've been at Apple for several years. Are these people retiring? Are they leaving to competitors like Google, Nest, Facebook, and Amazon? It's to be seen how these affect the products, because after all, Apple's a product-driven company.
All right, thank you so much for your insight. Mark Gurman, senior editor at 9 to 5 Mac. I'm Brittany Umar for The Street.